Have you ever thought about what this little thing does to us? What this hobby brings to our life? What this hobby fulfills in each of us? Hey everyone, this is MJ, and I have a channel called Planning This Life. You are at it right now. Thank you so much for being here. Most of the time, I'm talking about things that I've picked up, things that I'm interested in. Today, we're going to do a discussion video about our love of this hobby. And I specifically want to hear from you. So stay tuned. Welcome if you are brand new. Welcome back if you are a longtime subscriber. So, yes, I get asked quite a bit about my hobby. And a lot of people at first don't get it. They don't get why I love stationery and office supplies and specifically fountain pens so much. But then when I start making connections into their lives as to what their hobbies are and what their interests are, then there's kind of an understanding, right? So I have friends that collect different things. My husband used to be a sneaker person. He still is, but he hasn't been actively seeking and hunting and trying to score that one elusive pair. But it's like that. So over on my other channel, I have a BookTube channel where I talk about books. It's kind of the same thing. I do collect books. Right now I'm on a book buying ban, so I'm not. But I do like looking for vintage copies of, I have multiple copies of one book in particular, and that's Alice in Wonderland. And I try and get vintage copies, new interpretations, annotated, anything that I can find on Alice, I will try and keep in my collection. But fountain pens is different, right? Fountain pens is absolutely different. So I want to talk about why this little thing brings us so much joy. For me, I have to hold it. It's tangible. It's analog. Analog is very hip these days. It's an analog hobby. I don't need a screen to have fun. I don't need a screen to check in with myself. This little thing transports me every single day. And what I mean by that is when I journal. When I journal and when I write, no matter what pen I'm using, it brings me back to where I want to be. Okay. It takes me out of the headlines. It takes me out of whatever is going online. It takes me out of, parasocial friendships. It takes me out of just doom scrolling. It takes me out and it brings me back to exactly where I want to be. And that's with ink and a pen and paper. So I have some notes. Let's just discuss some things. It makes me become still in a world that does not stop. Back in the day, and most of you will know this, TVs used to go off at 10, 11 o'clock at night, 11:30 at night, and it would just be static or a screen. And then in the 80s, infomercials started coming in and they would start rolling all the time. And then in the 90s and 2000s, everything started changing. But there was a time when things shut off, things stopped, and you were able to rest. Sitting down with a fountain pen and ink makes me slow down. And that's what I crave right now. I'm at that age where I want to stop running and I want to start stopping more and enjoying the little things in life, right? So that is number one. Options. We have so many options depending on the size of your collection. Even if you just use one pen, you can use the same ink. You can shop other inks. Depending on my mood, I pick my pen. depending on what I feel like, what calls to me, what ink I want to see on the paper. All of that comes into play. And there is no shortage of fountain pen inks out there, okay? No shortage, as we know. There's two I have my eye on. There's an advent calendar for fountain pen inks. There's just so much that you can bring to the table. You don't need 20 pens. All you need is one pen. And there is a world of choices out there for you. I love that there could be low-end pens for the $1.25, as you know. And I also love, a pricier pen. I think my most expensive pen is probably the Esterbrook. I think it's the Esterbrook because it was the pen, the blotting paper, and the ink. It was a bundle. I think that was the most expensive. It may have been the Leonardo that my husband got me. Like you can go either way, but I'm just as happy writing with a pen that I found at the Dollar Tree. Okay. It all brings me joy, as you can tell. The other thing that this thing does is it connects us. It builds a community, right? So I didn't realize, being on YouTube for 4 years, that there were pen people out there. I had no idea. Journaling started coming into my feed slowly, and I was like, oh, this calls to me. This is something fun. This is something that I want to get interested in. And I've always kind of been a journaler, but never followed online culture, anything like that. So finding all of you and being able to have conversations in the comments about our fountain pens has just been brilliant. It's been amazing. I love it. I get to learn so much. Maybe you learned something from me. Probably not, but maybe. You never know. And I just think that's fantastic. In a world that pushes us to stay active and online and all of this, I love not being on my phone, sitting down and writing, practicing lettering, doing my morning journaling. Like, there's nothing better. Nothing better. It allows me to tap into myself. It allows me to reflect on my days. It brings that piece of creativity into my life that was missing. And I'm so glad to have it back over the past year. I've been making content on this channel consistently for just over a year. And it started with my grandfather's or father's fountain pens. I'm not sure which. I think they're my grandfather's. And when I posted that video, I was like, oh my gosh, there's a lot of people out there that love fountain pens more than books, believe it or not, which is mind-blowing. But because it really is a worldwide hobby, right? And it has been around for centuries. Okay. So I think I've rambled on enough about my chit chat and why I love this hobby so much. I would love to hear from you in the comments. What brings you to the table? Okay. I don't care if you have one fountain pen. I don't care if you have no fountain pens. I don't care if you have 300 fountain pens. What brings you to this hobby every single day? What motivates you? What do you love about this hobby? Leave a comment in the comment section. In my opinion, you can never have too many. Probably there's going to be a limit, but you can never have too many. Because for how I live my life, my moods, the variety that I love to have in my life, there's nothing like it. And every single pen represents a different mood, a different day, a different theme. And don't even get me started on the inks, okay? There's just so much variety in this analog hobby. That's no technology needed. And that's what I love. All right. and communicating with all of you too. Okay, so I will stop blabbing. I hope you are all doing well. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you're keep coming back and following my content. I would really love to make you a part of my community. I hope you are all doing well. Make sure that you are taking care of yourself so you can take care of others, and I'll see you in my next video, whether that be sooner or later. So until next time, everyone, fill those pens and write those words. See you next time.